Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to tell you about getting my seaplane rating at Jack Brown Seaplane Base in Winter Haven, Florida. If it's your first time on the channel, my name is Justice Zills, and this channel is all about aviation and automobile fun. And today I'm going to tell you a little bit more about my experience at Jack Brown Seaplane Base. Whenever it comes to flying and holding your license, you have to either do a flight review every 2 years or you have to add another rating to your license. So I chose to do the latter. One of my best friends was a helicopter pilot. I asked him, should I do my helicopter add-on? What should I do next? And he said, no, you need to go to Jack Brown's. It's the most fun thing you can possibly do. So I took his advice, I gave them a call, and I scheduled my 2-day course. Jack Brown's has been in business for over 60 years now. It started in 1963, so as I'm making this video, this is actually their 60th year. They've had a ton of well-known pilots all go through their program. And actually, funny enough, after I got my seaplane rating, I was talking with a bunch of C-130 pilots, and all of them had gotten their seaplane rating at Jack Brown's. When you get down there, the atmosphere is incredible. Everyone is extremely nice and welcoming, and it's very picturesque. You have all the seaplanes out next to the lake. It's beautiful. Also, when you call, you're gonna have to choose what kind of plane you want to fly. So they have the Piper J3 Cub, Legendary Cub. I did my course in a Super Cub. They also have a 172, and I think they might have an Icon, I'm not sure. But the price starts at $2,100 as of the time of this video, and it goes up depending on which plane that you want to fly. That cost covers the plane rental, your ground school, 5 hours of dual, and then also your check ride. So on day one, you'll show up at 7:30 in the morning, you'll fill out all your paperwork, you'll start doing your ground school, and then you'll get about 3 hours of flight time in. In those 3 hours, you'll cover pretty much everything in the curriculum and everything that you'll need to know for the check ride, as long as weather permits and you're able to get all that time in. Day one ended around 3:30, I want to say. So you had adequate time to leave, go get dinner, kind of do a lot of chair flying so that you could be well prepared for the next day. Definitely take that time to study up and just refresh your memory on everything that you learned in the ground school that day. And like I said, chair fly. Go through all the different takeoff and landings, all the different scenarios, just so that you have that muscle memory, or you can help to continue to build that muscle memory. Day two is going to start early as well. I believe I was back at the base around 7:30 and had to get the other 2 hours of dual instruction in. And that's really kind of fine-tuning everything that you've already learned. You'll get at least one rep of everything that you're going to experience in the check ride. After you go through everything that you've already learned, you're going to kind of just sharpen your skills with any of the particular takeoffs and landings that you need to work on. With the normal takeoff and landing, that's, you're going to start with the stick all the way back, full power, get up on the step, and you just gradually start taking off. With the rough water takeoff, you're going to try to get off the ground as soon as you can, stay in ground effects so you can gain some speed and take off from there. When you come in for your landing, you're actually going to put a little bit more power back so you can lower your stall speed and land the plane on the water as slow as you possibly can. When it comes to glassy water on your takeoff, you're going to have more friction on the floats because the water is flat. So after you get up onto the step, you're going to try to get onto one float, so you reduce that friction and take off after that. And then with the glassy water landing, it's a lot more technical. You're gonna be working with last visual reference points, and you're gonna need to be at the right altitude by the time that you pass that last visual reference, and you're gonna put back some power so that basically you're just gonna slowly let the plane come down onto the water itself. Also, when it comes to the rough water and the glassy landing, the power that you put back in is going to be somewhat dependent on how you have the plane loaded and what plane that you're in. So you'll learn a little bit more about that whenever you're in the school. With confined area takeoff and landings, they're pretty fun. Basically, with the takeoffs, you're going to start in a crosswind position, and once you're on step, you're going to turn into the wind and take off from there, and basically just kind of circle up until you get above your tree line and you can safely continue to fly out. And then when it comes to the landings, you're just gonna try to stop as soon as you possibly can. And then you're also going to have to go through some type of emergency landing scenario. In Winter Haven, there are a ton of lakes all over the place, so you'll have a lot of options to choose from. Just make sure you pick the one that makes the most sense. And there are a bunch of other skills that you're going to learn along the way. But for the purposes of this video, I just wanted to show you some of the takeoff and landings that I did. And if you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments section below. Happy to answer any of those. Also, you should note, if you are interested in getting your seaplane license at Jack Brown's, they do have a long wait list, or at least they did whenever I called. I think I had to wait about 4 months. After you book your course, you're also going to want to go ahead and get your accommodations, which I stayed at the Adams Estate, which is a wedding venue. It's beautiful, very reasonably priced. I highly recommend it. For any pilots out there that have gotten to the point where it's not as fun to fly anymore, or it's lost its shine a little bit, If you don't have your seaplane rating, I highly recommend going to Jack Brown's. Do the 2-day course. You will fall in love with flying all over again. It is, to date, the most fun I've had flying. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed, please do. I'm going to be working on my helicopter add-on here soon. So in the meantime, you'll see some night flights and a couple other flights around Florida. And then eventually, I'm going to bring on the helicopter content. So subscribe so you don't miss any of that. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
Kind of line that right float up with that track there. There you go. Thank you guys.